I get it when you're trying to upgrade your coffee corner. The temptation to grab a cheap plug-and-play espresso maker is huge. Most of the time those budget units look promising on the box, but after a week or two you're left with lukewarm shots, froth that disappears the second it hits the cup, and a feeling that you just wasted your money. So the question I keep hearing from people on the forums is, does spending a lot more on a serious machine actually make the difference, or is it just another pricey piece of kitchen hardware? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In the case of the Pavoni GIOTTO dual boiler with PID, the answer leans toward yes, it does, but only if you're the kind of coffee lover who cares about consistency, temperature control, and the ability to churn out cappuccinos for a small crew every morning. If you're happy with a single-serve pod machine or a basic stovetop mocha pot, you'll probably end up feeling the same buyer's remorse that haunts the cheap alternatives. Let's start with the basics of the category. A dual boiler espresso machine means you have separate boilers for brewing and for steaming milk. That separation lets you pull a shot at its optimal temperature while the other boiler is already up to the perfect steam pressure for frothing. Add a PID controller, and the machine can hold the brew temperature to within a degree or two, which is something you rarely see in home units that sit under $1,000. The GIOTTO also comes with a 2.9-liter freshwater reservoir, which sounds like a lot until you realize you can keep the machine running for a full morning rush without having to refill every 10 minutes. Now, the first thing people notice when they unpack the GIOTTO is its footprint. It's a solid, stainless steel block that feels more like a small commercial unit than a kitchen countertop gadget. The water tank sits at the back, the dual boilers are exposed through a brushed metal housing, and the control panel is a single rotary knob with a digital readout for temperature. Setting it up isn't a 3-minute plug-in. You have to prime the boilers, run a purge cycle, and calibrate the PID to your preferred brewing temperature. If you've never dealt with a machine that has a separate steam boiler, expect a short learning curve. The upside is that once you've walked through the initial setup, the day-to-day operation becomes almost effortless. You dial the temperature, hit start, and the machine handles the rest. I've been watching a handful of espresso enthusiasts who run a coffee hour at their co-working space. Their biggest pain point is juggling multiple drinks while keeping each shot consistent. The GIOTTO's dual boiler design eliminates the dreaded temperature dip that happens on single boiler machines when you switch from steaming to brewing. In real terms, that means you can pull a shot for a colleague, steam milk for a cappuccino, and then pull another shot for yourself without waiting for the machine to recover. The PID control also means you can experiment with different brewing temperatures for different beans without constantly guessing. One user I followed noted that a 92°C setting brought out the floral notes in an Ethiopian single origin, while a cooler 88°C highlighted the chocolatey body of a Brazilian blend. Those subtle adjustments are only possible when the machine holds temperature steady, and that's where the GIOTTO shines. On the flip side, the GIOTTO's size and water capacity can be a hidden trade-off. The 2.9-liter tank is generous for home use, but if you're running a small office or a boutique CAF that serves 30 drinks a day, you'll find yourself refilling it at least once. The tank sits low, which is great for stability, but it also means the machine takes up floor space that could otherwise be used for a grinder or a small display. Maintenance is another consideration. Dual boilers mean you have twice the surfaces that can develop scale, especially if you have hard water. The manual recommends a monthly descaling routine, and while the machine has a built-in decale indicator, the process isn't as quick as pressing a button on a capsule machine. If you're not comfortable with regular upkeep, you'll either spend extra on a water softener or risk performance degradation over time. Who should put this machine in their kitchen? First, serious home baristas who treat espresso as a hobby rather than a convenience. If you already own a high-quality grinder, know how to dial in dose and temp, and enjoy tweaking brew temperature to match different beans, the GIOTTO gives you a platform to refine those skills. Small-scale commercial users think a boutique pastry shop that wants to offer espresso drinks without investing in a full-size CAF machine also benefit from the dual boiler setup because it can handle back-to-back orders without sacrificing quality. The PID control adds a layer of professionalism that can be a selling point when you're serving paying customers. Who should walk away? If your daily routine is a single Americano in the morning, or if you're on a tight budget, the Giotto's price tag and maintenance.